I'm Debbie Godfrey. Welcome to the Positive Parenting Pep Talks podcast.
So yesterday we were talking about mom's way and dad's way and what happens when two couples disagree. And I wanted to continue that conversation today because I think it's such an important topic. And again, the main point here is that your relationship as a couple is setting the tone for the entire family. You're setting the example and the model for the entire family. So how you work through and negotiate conflicts is really important. Now, if you're a single parent, this may not apply to you at all. However, if you're a single parent, perhaps you're co-parenting with somebody, as in with the children's other parent or with grandparents, the same ideas are going to apply, that it's important to be in cooperation and not be undermining them, even when you disagree with them. That it's going to be more helpful to the kids if you can support each other, back each other up, and express and show a great relationship. So again, back to what to do when you do get into those conflicts. One of the things, you can have a family rule that the children have to get a yes from both parents before they can act. Oftentimes a child will ask one parent knowing which parent will say yes and which parent will say no. And this can get the parents pitted against each other. So they'll go to one parent and ask, can I go to my friend's house? And the parent will say, sure. And then the other parent's going to come in and say, why did you do that? I told her she couldn't go. And so the children's learning to work the two of you. And so if you create a rule that you have to get permission from both parents first, you can avoid that kind of a conflict and that kind of undermining of the other parent, because I don't think we really do it on purpose. And if you do, you want to look at that mischief that you might be creating in your family. If one parent gets in the middle between something going on between a spouse and a child, you need to step out of the middle. So if somehow you've managed to get yourself in the middle of a situation when the other parent and your child are dealing or handling something, you need to bow out. And you can do this quietly, or you can say, I realized I got in the middle of you two and I apologize, and I'm going to leave you two to this. I trust you'll be able to handle this, and let me know if you need anything. And step out of the middle. Really important not to get into the middle of something going on with your spouse and the child. Let them handle it. And again, if you have any issues with it, handle it later. Another great way is to deal with situations such as this at a family meeting. So when a situation comes up, say, that sounds like something great we should handle at the family meeting, and put it on the agenda for the next family meeting. That's a wonderful way to be able to handle conflicts that come up of any kind, but in this case too, if there's any disagreement between spouses. And that way, when you as spouses are working through some of these things, just think about when you were working through the conflict, whatever disagreement over parenting it is, let's say you decide to handle this in front of the kids, that you're negotiating through, maybe discussing whether or not that the child can go to their friend's house. If you sit next to each other and you hold hands while you're working through figuring out this agreement or working through the disagreement, just think what that's role modeling to your kids. So if you make it a point when you're negotiating conflict, the two of you hold hands, the two of you look in each other's eyes, the two of you acknowledge each other for great ideas, for being respectful of your ideas. Just think of what you're modeling about negotiating conflicts to your kids. Have a great day. Happy parenting.
I hope you enjoyed today's episode of the Positive Parenting Pep Talks podcast. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Debbie Godfrey, owner and founder of positiveparenting.com. I hope you'll go and check out my website and follow me on Instagram and let me know about what you thought about today's episode. Did you learn something new? Were you able to do something different with your children? Did you have a success story? Those are my favorite to share. Let me know. Contact me. I'd love to hear from you. And also, what future topics would you be interested in hearing about on the Positive Parenting Pep Talks podcast? Thank you so much for being here and for all of your support. Take care and happy parenting.